Hi guys, I have come to my friend's place today, and today I'll tell you, when the relationship between husband and wife is messy, how does it reflect on their children? And I'm telling you this so that you know you will know the impact it leaves on children. That's one, and second thing is. I'll tell you when I tell you the story. Now, this friend of mine, she got divorced 2 years back, and we had been talking to each other um, over the phone. But over the phone, it's never been those deep talks. And today, she wanted me to, visit her for a very, very special reason. Her 13-year-old daughter, and she has one 10-year-old son. So her 13-year-old daughter has, she wanted to write something, and she wrote a small paragraph, and the heading of the paragraph was um, the man and the revenge. Okay, a 13-year-old saying a man and the revenge. Now when I went through that story is a very, very clear reflection of what she has been going through after her father left home, right? So she is in her story. Obviously, for confidentiality reasons, I cannot tell you the story, but in that story, what is getting reflected are actually two things. Number one is um, the fear, immense fear, and the second is anger. Now anger in her is in the story is actually showing the reflection of anger towards her dad, because she believes that her dad has done a lot of wrong things. He has troubled her mother, and therefore there is this anger coming, reflecting in the story, and wherein she's reflecting to the man, not as a father but just a stranger. Another thing that is getting reflected in the story is the fear. Okay, the fear that the way her father has treated her mother, there is a deep seated fear that even she is going to be treated like that by some authority figure. And that, I mean, man in the story for her is reflecting authority. Now that authority could be her partner in future, that authority could be any one of her teachers, that authority could be anyone who she sees as authority. So she's seeing that fear, that she is also going to be treated the same way by some authority figure in her life. And that story has a very sad ending. Now, what I am trying to say is that, when I was speaking with my friend, I asked her, because I could guess that she and her children never had open talk about her husband leaving home. Now, because she could not talk openly about that, the elder one has, carried some impressions. She has her own story in her mind with regards to her relationship between her parents. She has her own story as to why her father has left, and which is getting reflected. Now, what my friend needs to do is she needs to sit with her kids, both of them, 10 and 13, to talk openly about whatever has happened in the scenario, with, yes, little riders in between, because she cannot be, with the age that they are, cannot be opening up 100%, but to an extent where they can form better relationships in their life, and to an extent where this fear and anger gets a release. What I am trying to say is that even your children will be carrying some impressions. You might say that you don't argue, you don't fight in front of your children, but in a very subtle way, they are gathering what is happening between you and your partner. Their subconscious mind is gathering between the chemistry between you and your partner. Now, how do you know that, and what do you do to find out what's in their mind? Depending on the age of the children, okay, you can either, if they are very small, ask them to narrate a story. I mean, create a scenario where, tell them that, suppose you are writing a story, or you're writing a book, or you're writing a, you're making a movie, and if you are to make a story of a family, what story would that be? If kids are very small, ask, give this background and tell them to narrate the story. Okay, little elder, say more than 10 years, say 10 to 13, 10 to 14, 15, 16 years, ask them to write, right? Again, telling the same thing, that if you had to direct a movie, or if you had to write a novel, or if you had to submit something on the family, in say in a essay competition, what would you write? Say something which is going to encourage them to write. Okay, until about say the age of 14, they are going to, whatever they are writing, just allow them the free expression. Don't worry, don't get scared, don't get bothered, just allow that free expression to them. Okay. And those kind of children who can, who love to draw, who love to paint. Okay, allow them to put their expression in their drawings, in their paintings. In fact, the colors that they are using will also reflect what they are going through. So give them the platform where they can openly express what's coming to them naturally. Okay, because what is coming to them will not be at the top of their head. What's coming to them, when you allow them the open expression, is what is coming from their subconscious mind. Now when you read that story, or when you listen to that story, when you look at those paintings, you will know what is that area where they, as your children, see the gap. Okay, the area where your children are seeing the gap is the area where you will need to work on. Okay, because if you look at the situation, then you're looking from your perspective, your partner is looking from her or his perspective, so that's a kind of a biased perspective. But when you give your children the open platform to express themselves fully, don't fear anything, don't put any terms and conditions, just allow them that expression, and then read. And then when you read, or when you listen to them, or when you see their paintings, you will see which area is the area that you need to work on, right? Another friend of mine, she was my neighbor actually. Her husband was never very close to children, two daughters, he was never close to them. And they had, husband and wife also had quite a lot of distance between them, but then they were staying together because of very obvious reasons like society, family, etc. And when their class teacher gave the elder daughter, and that time elder daughter was in grade 4, when she gave the assignment to the class to write how they spend their vacations, the elder daughter had written everything about the vacations that they had gone for, wherein husband, wife, both children had gone for vacations. She had not mentioned anything about her dad. Everything she had mentioned about her vacations with the sister and her mother. And the teacher saw the trend in anything that, had, wherein she had to express, father was nowhere appearing in the picture. Okay, so when you ask your children to write or express themselves through, not directly, not by talking, but through indirect means, you will understand what is that area that you need to work on. Okay, so this is something I want you to do. And don't expect that, today if you have asked your child, and your child is going to write immediately or express or there and then. No, the child might take 1 day, 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, a gentle reminder in between, and then you will see what comes out as the expression. Okay, so make your child to write that, and should you need my help in interpreting those writings, okay, do message me privately, and I will get in touch with you. Again, this is going to be just 10 to 15 minutes of our call, where I'm going to be telling you, where I'm going to help you interpret, because I've worked with lots of children before I got into relationship coaching. So if you need my help in interpreting what they have expressed, most welcome. All you need to do is just message me personally, and then I will get in touch with you. Over 15 minutes of call, I will understand what that is and give you the feedback. That's all from me to you, and I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow, same time, 3:30. And before I end, I really, really wish to thank you from all my heart, because we've completed 50 days of our challenge, which is and we are left with just 50 more to go. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your patronage. My heartfelt thanks to all those who are working on those assignments. I know those people who are working, because I am getting those messages, those questions, though privately, and whereas I really want you to write in the comment box, but doesn't matter as long as you're doing it. That's very, very encouraging, and I am also getting inspired. Thank you so much once again, and I am going to be seeing you tomorrow 3:30. Take care. Bye.